we will go to the full extent, depending how far this goes. We will go to the extent of cutting off their energy, going down to Michigan, going down to New York State and over to Wisconsin. I don't want this to happen, but my number one job is to protect Ontarians and Canadians as a whole. This is coming. It's not if it is, it's coming. And it's coming January 20th or 21st. And we need to be prepared. We need to stand as a country. We need to stand united as Canadians and work hand in hand and shoulder to shoulder with our colleagues across the country, and we're ready to do it.
That was Doug Ford. He's the premier of Ontario, Canada. That's sort of like the equivalent of a governor of a state. And Ontario is basically telling us, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Now, I tried to tell you that it's okay to say America first. It's okay to put America's priorities first and try to make sure that we're good to go as compared to the rest of the world. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you come out as bold and as brazen as MAGA and Donald Trump, you get other countries saying, well, what about Canada first, Ontario first, Saskatchewan first, France first, Spain first, Italy first, Japan first. And when you do that, that is when war happens. And I'm not talking about the war that comes with bullets flying and airplanes dropping bombs. I'm not talking about that kind of war. First is an economic war. When countries start renegotiating their trade deals, and you'll get like Britain to get with France, and France to get with Spain, and Spain will get with probably Russia. And, people just start doing trade deals that are trying to align with whatever the major powers are trying to do. And now that Trump is saying he's going to do this stuff, we're not saying he's going to put it into fruition. We're just saying he wants to do this stuff. A lot of countries around the world are saying, okay, let's renegotiate with other countries so we can offset what the United States is trying to do. Then we'll go back to the United States and try to do a different trade deal with them. Then come alliances. You'll have China and Russia and North Korea meeting up. And then you have India trying to get in on the deal. Then you have South Africa trying to fix some things up. And then you'll have even our own allies trying to partner up and exclude the United States. And once one enemy country steps on the toes of another enemy country, whether it's intentional or unintentional, that's when a hot war happens. Now let's get back to Canada. While Americans, and I know what MAGA is doing right now, we're the greatest in the world. We can take on Canada. We can take Mexico. They're weak as compared to us. While they're saying that, what they don't realize is Canada is a very important trading partner with us. That's why the premier said the things he said in the video. The United States was again Canada's largest trading partner in 2022 with over $960.9 billion in total trade on a customs basis, accounting for close to 2/3, 63.4% of the more than $1.5 trillion in worldwide trade. Energy products made up of 1/3, 33.5% of the $598 billion worth of exports in the United States in 2022. Now, I was going to read the rest of that, but you can go back and pause to read because they also talked about people visiting and how much trade that we do as far as investments. What if they stopped? In addition to what he was saying about the electricity, what if they cut off their borders and say, hey, Canadians can no longer travel to America and America is no longer allowed in Canada? And then there's the electricity. Just like the premier said, they give oil and electricity to multiple states, to include places like Wisconsin and New York. And what the premier just told us is, starting January 20th or the 21st, whenever Trump starts his bullshit, he's going to tell the people that control the electricity for us, turn off the light. And when we get mad at Canada because they did that, all he going to say is, light a candle. America for a long time has become spoiled. We got first world problems. We're not concerned about a lot of other things that other countries are concerned about. For instance, we've never had to experience crossing a border and having a passport to do so. Imagine having to go from Tennessee to Kentucky and have a passport. How about having your enemy on your border? We don't have that problem, at least not yet. And because of that, we walk around with a little bravado. We walk around with a little arrogance, thinking that we're the greatest shit since sliced bread. Somebody is going to check that arrogance. I'm not saying we're not justified for having it. I'm saying that we need to humble ourselves and understand that we're not the only ones on this planet We're not the only ones that can and cannot do things. Other nations have just as much power in other things. And even though we spend close to $1 trillion on our military, they can affect us in other ways without us having to get into a hot war. Stop being so freaking arrogant and learn how to get along and work and compromise with people. Or get ready for Canada to say, "Turn them on." What do you think?